C'est quoi le problème là? Je ne vois pas c'est quoi le problème. Je ne comprends pas pourquoi ça bug comme ça. C'est trop bizarre. Input, output. Pourquoi? Non. Oh putain, c'est quoi ce problème encore? Ouais, c'est bon, ça c'est fait. Attendez, je vais mettre ça. Ce sera mieux. Bon. C'est quoi ce problème? C'est pas ça que je vais faire. Je vais même pas mettre ça. Bon, tant pis, on va laisser ça. Je comprends pas pourquoi. Pourquoi ça fait ça? C'est quoi ça? C'est quoi ça? Ok, non, ça c'est le truc en double. Donc on s'en fout. Bah, on va voir là si ça remarche, mais c'est trop bizarre. Ça coupe en plein live. Je comprends vraiment pas. On va continuer, mais tant pis, on va voir. Il est sorti avec ses gants et ses... et son parka quand même. Son parka. N'importe quoi.
So cold. I guess I should have brought my jacket to work.
Ok, alors attendez, il faut que je coupe le son là. Voilà, c'est mieux. Comme ça.
This luck can be quite intimidating when it's so quiet. Almost there. Stephen didn't want to go out for a drink tonight, so I'll drink my whiskey in the company of my TV.
On va boire.
Shit. I forgot the muffin. Well, Ridley will have a nice treat for the night. I'm sure he'll be his happy, thankful self tomorrow.
Il va se passer des dingueries, je pense. Si je prends tout le temps l'ascenseur. Je déteste le bruit de l'ascenseur. Pourquoi pas? Ce serait bien d'aller au dernier étage en vrai. Ok, c'est bon, calme-toi. D'accord. Ouais, c'est pas grave. Pourquoi il y a des... Vous entendez? Enfin, vous entendez. Non. Vous voyez ce que je vois là? J'arrête pas de voir des trucs de... Non, ok.
What?
Pourquoi c'est ouvert?
What the fuck? But I locked it. I'm sure of it.
Ok. On m'a cambriolé. Va devenir encore plus fou que d'habitude.
Who the fuck did this? I don't have anything valuable. Money. They must have stolen the money.
L'argent. Tiens, prends tes pilules. d'abord. Comme ça, tu deviendras moins fou. Si on prend trop de pilules, ça fait quoi? Il devient encore plus fou ou justement c'est le contraire?
Oh God. Oh God.
Ils ont tout retourné, hein.
Fuck.
Calme-toi, calme-toi. Ah, ils ont pris
Great.
l'argent.
That's all I need.
Ouais, c'est tout ce dont t'as besoin.
What if it was Red Pete? Where? I need my pills. Okay.
Ok.
I'm gonna have to report this to the police. Christ. Why did the neighbors not report anything? I'm calling
On va appeler la
Steven.
police. Steven fait partie de la police.
Steven?
Now, Jack, I told you I'm going for a drink with you for another night in a row.
That's not why I'm ringing. Although I could do with one. Someone broke into my apartment.
What? Did anyone see anything? Have you called the police yet?
No, I don't think so. Anyway, no one contacted me. As for the police, I'm calling right now, officer.
All right. Do you want me to head around? Look for any trace evidence?
I don't know. No, I guess not. Honestly, I don't have the strength to deal with it right now. I just want to lie down.
Are you sure? Because it's no trouble at all.
I think so. I'm sorry. I just wanted to calm down a bit. I don't know. It's probably some stupid joke. Only money was stolen.
Money? From Alice's box? Oh, fuck. Listen, I can come over. I have the key. I'll drop by, do what I need to do, and you go get some sleep.
No, don't trouble yourself. Lately, I've been just so tired and distracted. I don't know. Maybe I forgot to close the apartment door on my way to work. If anything else is missing, I'll let you know and call the police.
All right. Just make sure you close it tonight. If you see anything weird tomorrow, let me know. Whoever did this may be watching.
I don't think anyone is dumb enough.
Il me
to
surveille.
come
Oh,
back.
vas-y, fais-moi encore
You're
plus peur,
probably
mec.
right. Take care, Jack.
Ouais.
If you need anything, call me.
I promise I will.
Ouais.
Thanks, Stephen. Sorry to bother you again. I've just been all over the place lately.
It's not a problem. Good night, Jack.
Good night.
D'accord. Ça s'est allumé.
What?
Ok.
I guess I should clean this shit up.
D'accord.
Where to start? Maybe I could barricade the door with this. I
Referme la
should pack
porte,
this
on va
thing
faire ça.
away. I have no interest in DIY at the moment. Now I'm sure I
Ils sont
won't
obligés
get
de faire
caught up in
peur
these
avec leur
papers.
bruit bizarre.
Alice's family should really have some of these. There you go. To be honest, I could leave it like this. I still don't understand why Alice liked this painting so much.
Ils ont pris quand même les cadres. Hein.
Shit. The glass in this thing needs to be replaced.
Jack, why?
That's enough for now. Ugh, I think I'm just tired.
D'accord. Alice m'a appelé. Elle a fait Jack, why? C'est toujours autant le bordel.
Oh yeah. I
Ok.
should take my pills.
Ouais, c'est toujours autant le bordel. Faudrait jeter les poubelles à un moment donné, je pense, non? Il est obligé de prendre tout le temps ses cachets.
It takes me forever to finish these things.
On n'a pas peur, on y va, on est
That's
courageuse,
enough.
on y va.
It will never look clean. I need to quickly change
En
and
même
finish
temps,
getting
vu
ready.
l'état de ton appart, désolé, mais c'est normal. Hein. Tu ranges rien. Hein. Truc de fou. C'est changé. Ouais, c'est changé. Je viens de fermer la porte.
I'm gonna be late for work again.
C'est parti.
Got my keys, got my files. Check. Time to go.
C'est parti. On y va. J'espère que je peux me faire cambrioler une deuxième fois, ce serait pas bien.
Remember to close the door
Pas bien
properly,
du
Jack.
tout.
I'll ask the neighbors tomorrow if they saw anything suspicious. Ugh.
On peut monter là?
I wonder if Rediff fixed the coffee machine.
J'aimerais bien monter voir ce qu'il y a. Il y avait une poussette ici, non? Ah non, c'est au premier alors? Ah oui, c'est au premier. Ok. J'ai trop peur. Imaginez, il y a quelqu'un qui me suit.
Maybe a bit optimistic.
Ouais, go.
I'd better grab a coffee on the way.
Ah, prendre un café. T'as besoin du café. On a besoin du café. Ouh. Pour pas avoir peur. Et pour se réchauffer aussi, parce qu'il fait froid en ce moment. Enfin, moi j'ai froid personnellement. Après, je suis frileuse, mais.
I'm exhausted.
Ouais, j'imagine. Il travaille de
I
nuit?
wonder who Stephen brought in today.
Ou c'est juste l'ambiance qui est comme ça? Enfin, pas l'ambiance, mais le. Genre, il fait
Good
tout le temps
morning,
nuit.
Mr. Ridley. No,
Il est pas là.
he's not here yet? No, I'll do without him.
Il y a encore. D'accord. Ah putain.
Almost there.
Meuf, il y a une meuf là. Ok.
Now for the tough part. The body needs to be moved. Where's
Je
Ridley when we need
déteste
him?
ça.
All right. I just need some gloves and my apron. Then I can get to work.
T'es habillée. Alice, tu fais pas ça.
I'm
Hein.
going to need my tape recorder for this.
Je sais que c'est un jeu qui fait peur, mais arrête. Hein? Je suis pas d'accord.
Autopsy dated November 22nd, 1990.
J'avais pas vu. 99.
Some of my previous cases, a
Ancien
reminder of
dossier.
more prosperous times.
Est-ce qu'on prend... Ah oui, ok.
I began
Dossier de
by
la police d'abord.
verifying the identity of the Jane Doe.
Allez, c'est parti.
It's most likely
T'es
Harper Lloyd,
retrouvé
age 35, found in a well-owned house by her neighbors
dans un puits.
in Dorothy, Chelsea. Reported missing for a week.
Ouah, pendant une semaine, il reste dans le puits, le pauvre.
It is also known that the deceased was diagnosed with affective bipolar disorder. Harper was placed on drug therapy, which she dropped out of fairly regularly. During her treatment, she was under the care of her common law partner, Richard Benson, professional truck driver. The last person who had contact with the deceased was her partner. Harper's last message read as follows. I'm gonna take a shit in their stupid well. Then we'll see who has the last laugh. Nice one. Police records also show that Mrs. Lloyd was in constant conflict with her neighbors. The constant parties and subsequent brawls made living in the area nearly impossible, especially when Lloyd's partner wasn't around. Firefighters found the body after the Chelsea family began complaining that their tap water tasted strange, and at one point had begun to smell and turn a dark color.
Devenu foncé.
The most important task in forensic identification of a drowned person is to distinguish whether the death occurred
Fermeture.
before or after entering the water.
J'ai pas envie de voir, ça me fait trop peur. Il lui manque un
Okay.
œil.
That could have been worse. I carefully removed
Et
the
toute
victim's
gonflée.
clothes so as not to... The deceased was one shoe was missing. I'm going to
une
need the
chaussure.
camera to document all possible suspicious marks.
Truc de ouf. Moi j'aime. Ah,
Definitely
te
the
retourne pas
first
comme
thing
ça,
that
mec.
stands out
On sait pas.
It's the very advanced post-mortem gigantism. The skin of the deceased appears very delicate, smooth, and relaxed from being in the water for a long time. The whole body is extremely pale.
Donc il y a un gros hématome ici. Mais je pense que elle s'est peut-être noyée hein, du coup. Hein. Au vu du truc. Qui était marbrure. Ah mais du coup c'est ça les marbrures. Ok. Allez. Des hématomes et des traces hémorragiques. Inhalation soutenue. Ouais. Ouais, elle s'est noyée. Ah 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 ah. La pauvre. Je suis sûre que c'est qu'elle a pas fait exprès qu'elle est tombée dans le puits. La peau est toute fripée. Je sais pas si ça vous fait ça aussi, mais quand on met les mains trop souvent dans l'eau, la peau elle devient toute fripée. J'aime pas ça. C'est trop bizarre. Je sais pas. Je suis pas fan.
The skin on the hands can be easily separated from the body. The separation takes the form of a glove.
Ah. C'est pas joli ça. C'est gratignant. Ok.
So, after the preliminary exam, it's time to take a closer look at this.
Allez, c'est parti.
Today's date.
Allez.
The deceased was clothed. Rigor mortis does not
Inutile
need
de
to be
vérifier.
checked. Based on the state of decay, you can be sure it has subsided.
Elle s'est dissipée. Ah oui, c'est vrai, il faut examiner la zone avec les loupes.
Where to start? We see thick white foam in the mouth of the deceased, resulting from pulmonary edema. Foam is a characteristic in deaths due to drowning.
J'aimerais pas mourir noyé personnellement.
The spots have a purplish blue-red hue, which is a typical sign of the death of the organism.
Ok. Donc quand on se noie, t'as le corps qui gonfle comme ça. Je trouve ça dingue. Moi ça me ferait peur. J'aimerais pas me noyer, je sais pas. C'est une mort atroce la noyade. Enfin c'est pas la plus atroce mais je sais pas, je suis pas fan.
Liver mortis are formed as a result of putrefaction of blood in the veins.
D'accord. On va devenir des pros après.
No obvious signs
Devrait
of
mettre ça
struggle.
légiste.
The skin on the hands would have easily peeled away from the flesh. Some of the fingers have already lost their nails.
Ah carrément. On perd les ongles une fois que ça. Ah oui. Le pauvre. Désolé. Pas désolé.
Due to the fact that the deceased was wearing shoes all the time, her feet are in better condition than her hands. Nevertheless, you can still notice a clear, wavy skin and the so-called washerwoman's skin texture. Okay, that's probably enough to indicate a direction for further examination.
Ah oui. Non, pas ça. Shift.
Note that down in the records. Marks found on the neck and foaming at the mouth are typical signs of drowning people. Those abrasions appear relatively fresh. No healing or scarring is visible. There doesn't seem to be anything unusual about this liver mortis.
Après, si.
Hands heavily wrinkled from submersion in water, typical washerwoman's skin. Diffuse spots are caused by blood rotting in the veins. Considering the deceased's penchant for drinking alcohol, it could have been a mere accident.
Un simple accident, donc elle était peut-être alcoolisée, elle est tombée dans le puits. Elle est restée une semaine dedans. Truc de fou.
Maybe it's just abrasion, or maybe the result of a fight and being pushed into a well. Their distribution suggests that the victim was probably lying on her back when fished out of the water. Fortunately, the skin on the hands didn't fall off. Otherwise,
parce que ça peut se détacher.
trouble identifying the deceased. Liver mortis of a different color could indicate poisoning with carbon monoxide, cyanides, or nitrates. However, this is not the case here. A simple trip, loss of balance, and as a result, you end up in a deep hole with no way out.
Ouais. Je la plains. Merde. Oupsie. C'est bon. Enfin, je crois. Je crois. Hein.
That's all for now.
Ah ok. Il l'avait pas marqué.
Before I begin the dissection, I'll make sure the suggested identity is correct.
Ok, c'est parti. Scalpel. Non.
The suitcase with the fingerprint equipment should be around here somewhere.
Outils appropriés dans la mallette. D'empreinte digitale. Ok, la mallette est là-bas.
Oh, here it is. With decomposing bodies, the tissue of the pads and the fingers tends to shrink. To remove these shrinkages, if the body of the deceased is well preserved, the fingerprint
Ok, bon, ça c'est la... Je connais ces trucs-là. Enfin, j'ai pas été en prison.
Too
Mais...
much or too little ink, or
Quoi que
inaccurate
ce
hand
soit,
position can make fingerprints
je connais ça.
illegible. I'm going to conduct a dactyloscopic examination. If in fact the deceased is in the police database, I will find her. Glycerin is injected successively between the nail and the skin of each finger. The substance then enters the fingertip, removing shrinkage and wrinkles.
On voit les empreintes digitales qui apparaissent, c'est un truc de fou. J'aimerais pas. Si on nous fait ça quand on est vivant, ça nous fait quoi dans le corps, je veux dire.
Now I take a brush. Only when the skin is taut and elastic can you use ink. I think it's enough. I'm getting fingerprint samples.
Ok,
In
ça
the
suffit.
case of drowning victims, you
J'ai
have
mis
to
trop,
be
je pense.
extremely careful. The skin may fall off the hand. I'll use the fax machine to add the print into the
Si c'est
system.
le fax. Ok. On va utiliser le
I
fax.
wasn't sure it would amount to anything,
C'est
but
pas
the
ça.
World Wide Web has been a blessing for speeding up
Ah
my
non, c'est ça, c'est vrai.
buttons and
Je suis pas prête de travailler en administration, moi. L'administration, c'est pas pour moi. Si je sais même pas ce que c'est un fax, petite donc.
I'll run the prints against the police database on the computer.
Ok,
Great.
c'est parti.
The data is there. Click
On se connecte.
upload. Now, go through the database and find a matching print. Expect possible hours of fun. One more.
Là, ça peut être que ça, de toute façon.
Analyze button.
Quand on regarde les trucs...
And we have a result. Everyone has a story to tell, even if it's just a police record. So, as predicted, the deceased turned out to be Harper Lloyd.
Décès en
That went smoothly.
91,
I'll print
trouble
this
à
out
l'ordre
and
public,
attach it to the
comportement
medical
agressif
records.
selon prise de l'alcool, une amende, trouble à l'ordre public, tapage et vandalisme, avertissement, trouble de l'ordre public, comportement agressif, tapage et vandalisme, avertissement. Elle a eu 2 avertissements, 3 avertissements, 2 amendes et plusieurs amendes. Voilà l'étalage. Waouh. Bon, ça va, elle a pas fait grand chose tant qu'elle a pas tué de gens. C'est pas dérangeant en vrai. Enfin, je pense.
Great. Now we can go back to my inspection.
Ok,
I'm
par
adding
contre,
the
l'autopsie.
name of the deceased.
En fait, ce jeu fait pas
I'll
peur en
start
vrai.
the internal examination by taking fluid from the victim's brain. A needle inserted through the nose will do the trick.
Prendre la seringue.
If the
Mais on
victim
peut
was
pas ouvrir.
alive when she fell into the well, she must have swallowed water fighting
Diatomée.
for her life. And then diatoms, characteristics of pooled water. In the meantime, I'll check the sample under the microscope.
au
I'm sure
microscope.
that these algae traces will be found in the samples taken from the well where police... Now I need to adjust the knobs properly. And place the... I won't even notice an army of... Oh. Nah, too much light. I won't be able to see... Oh. I'm finally starting to see some... It's not a... Man, perfect.
Poisson.
Great. This way I'll see if
Okay.
I'm dealing with a large concentration of these algae.
Et je dois faire comment pour... Ah oui, ok, je dois bouger comme ça. C'est pas ça là? Non. Oh.
As expected,
Ah c'est ça?
we find the aforementioned algae in the solution. Their upper part, Epitheca, which overlaps the lower, Hypotheca, is clearly visible.
Truc de fou. Je
The
pensais pas
presence
qu'on
of
pouvait,
diatoms in
on
the
pouvait
brain
voir ça
samples taken
dans le nez.
indicate that the deceased was certainly alive when she fell into the water and was possible.
Ça me
Since there
dégoûte
were
un peu.
diatoms in the
Faut le
brain,
dire.
it means that many more of them must have entered the body. Studies of the rest of the organs will most likely confirm this hypothesis.
Ok. Ah, désolé si je paye.
I can finally get to the practical part.
Oh,
I
scalpel.
must be extra careful because the skin of the deceased is very stretched. I wouldn't want an explosion here. You can immediately see a very large swelling of the organs. In addition, all internal organs are very congested. It's easy to see that the ribs have been imprinted in the lungs. So, I'm going to start by drawing blood from the lungs for if diatoms were only present in the lungs, this would mean that the victim was placed in the well after death, and the perpetrator wanted to get rid of the corpse in this way.
Une analyse.
Now, I
Ah
remove
ok.
the lungs
Je
and
croyais que
proceed
c'était...
their examination. Taking the lungs in my hand, I feel that the tissues have lost their
on voit les
elasticity,
côtes carrément
which is
qui
the
ont
result
écrasé le
of
poumon.
water emphysema. In addition, there is significant swelling of the organs, and as a result, we have a nice imprint of the ribs.
Emphysème
The
avancé.
emphysema itself, it's clear
Je
how
ne
far
connais
it's progressed,
strictement
which
pas
is
le
characteristic of
jargon
drowning.
médical, donc
Corpses found in water are worth examining with a tomograph.
Loki de Bucket
However,
ne...
I can't count on
Mais
such
ils oublient de
luxury,
traduire des
so
trucs
I
parfois.
must reach for a more
Mais c'est pas grave,
archaic
après ça soit en
technology.
anglais, mais
A
tout à l'heure c'était
bucket
russe.
and water.
D'accord, on va fermer. Je l'ai vu tout à l'heure, la meuf, elle était ici. Pourquoi j'entends un bruit comme si j'allais me chier dessus là? Ok.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow, 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 wow. Calmez-vous. C'est bon, hein. Je cherche le seau. Il est où le seau? Je vous ai dit, un jour il va se lever là, il va me regarder ou il va me courir après. Storage room. Storage room, c'est... Ok. Mais je vois des trucs. Je vous jure qu'il y a des trucs qui sont pas normaux. Ça, c'était pas ouvert, ça. Quand je suis arrivée.
Ooh, I hope no one dipped a mop
Ok.
in it. It's best to go for this.
Je vous balance le seau si vous me faites sursauter, hein, je vous le dis. Ok.
Historically, the lung flow test is used to detect infanticide. The water should be
Ça
at
fait
room
trop
temperature.
peur.
That's enough.
Allez, go.
To test for this, I have to place the lungs in a container of water.
On va chercher poumon.
This checks if there is air in the lungs. And speaking of lungs,
Ok.
everything is ready to bring them here.
Tu vas pas te lever une deuxième fois, toi. Hein. Une fois, ça suffit. Hein. En plus, elle avait les cheveux en pétard quand elle s'est
Such a
levée.
study isn't without flaws.
Ah, je vous dis pas à quel
Air
point
may
c'est...
have entered a newborn's
Ah,
airways during resuscitation
j'en ai des
test. Gases
frissons.
released during decomposition. In this case, however, it's about something else. Namely, the amount of fluid in the lungs. test for this, I have to
Et
put
c'est
the
parti.
lungs in a container of water and wait to see if they fall or if they will float on the surface.
Et on fait glisser. Et ils sont noyés.
Just as I assumed, the lungs collapsed
Ok,
easily.
donc elle s'est noyée. D'accord. Donc ça c'est juste pour voir si s'il y avait encore de l'air dans les poumons. Mais ce qui m'étonnait.
Fluid could have entered the lungs during panic attempts to catch breath underwater, but it could also be the result of bacterial infections or cancer. So further investigation is needed.
Hop.
I
Allez,
move
go.
on to dissecting the lungs
On va
of the
disséquer.
deceased. You can hear the distinct, very unpleasant crackling of the parenchyma is remarkably pale, although small hemorrhagic foci and petechia are present on the surface. All right. Now, I will check the collected fluid under a microscope. If we
Microscope.
find 20 diatoms on the slide, it can be considered drowning.
La
And
présence
our
de
result
diatomée.
is not false positive due to possible
Donc
contamination.
si je m'en souviens de
I've
diatomée,
only
c'est
noticed an
jusqu'à
army of diatoms
100.
on this yeah, it's not a dirty lens, I'm afraid. I'd rather be. Oh, no. I'm finally starting to see something
Ok.
here. And perfect.
Parfait. Donc les diatomées, c'est les machins là. Oh, il y en a plein là.
As expected. In
C'est ça là,
solution, the
ça les
diatoms are
diatomées.
clearly
Ces
visible.
espèces de
There
petites
are
bactéries
smaller and
bizarres là.
larger clusters of them. There will
Il y en a dans
definitely
les
be more
algues,
than 20
à
of
ce
them.
qu'ils ont dit. Pourquoi ils tournoient entre eux? Ok, ils étaient en train de tourner.
I'll make a note of all this.
Ok, on va noter ça. Non, ok, je suis obligée d'être sur
So
elle.
far, this case looks pretty standard.
C'est parti.
It's clear from the beginning that it's drowning. Well, the procedure requires me to check everything anyway.
Ouais, donc on sait très bien qu'elle s'est... Elle s'est noyée, quoi.
So, I move on to checking the other organs. I ligate the
cœur.
heart, and then remove strongly developed putrefactic hemolysis
Putréfaction.
can be seen at first glance. Apart from that, no signs of a heart attack
No.
or other heart disease.
Merci Reaper pour ton follow. Je viens tout juste de le voir, désolé, j'ai pas activé les...
Move on to the next organ. This time, it's the liver.
J'ai pas activé la notification. Commencer... Analyse possible du foie.
It's immediately apparent that the deceased didn't care for the beginnings of cirrhosis are visible
Une
in some
cirrhose.
areas. I transfer the organ to a board and proceed to dissect.
Ok, on va le disséquer, comme on l'a fait tout à l'heure. Avec les autres, quoi.
The cross-section clearly shows dilated veins and many small hemorrhagic. I must admit that this is quite a feat, considering the rather young age of the deceased. Harper enjoyed drinking so much that she might not have lasted a few more years.
Durcissement du foie avec la veine dilatée. Cirrhose alcoolique. Wow.
I move on
Mais elle
to
est
the
pas morte de
stomach.
ça du coup.
I take a sample of the fluid for testing.
Prélever un échantillon. Seringue. Ah, tu fais des streams? Tu fais des streams sur quoi?
Looks very turbid. I'll see what happens after spinning. I'll check in a moment. Now, I carefully ligate my own but trusted
non.
centrifuge.
Ah mince.
Ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy.
Bon, pas centrifugeuse
It's
alors.
large,
J'aurais bien aimé.
probably full of putrid gases.
Ouais, FPS, ok.
I transfer to the board and carefully open it, checking the contents.
Ouais, il a disparu. Ah oui, non, ok. On va le disséquer, c'est vrai. J'avais oublié. Donc tu joues à des FPS. Donc Fortnite,
One thing you never get used to is how much this
tout
house
ça,
smells.
tout ça. Mais tu joues qu'à ça du coup?
Okay.
Enfin, tu joues
The
qu'à ça.
stomach
Tu streams que
is
ça?
full of fluid and unidentified organic matter, which is probably leftover food. So let's check the
Ok,
diatoms.
nourriture. Les diatomées encore.
Not in a centrifuge for a
Dans le
change.
bureau,
The
récupérer
problem
les
with
carnets.
examining
Ok.
drowned people is being able to show whether the death was due to drowning or whether something else contributed to the death. Cramp, heart attack, drugs, homicide, or some accident. Such
ça
an
lag.
analysis requires viewing from
Ça lag
different
un peu.
angles and a careful interpretation of the collected data, including those from the field. That's why it's so important to collect as many
savez ce que je vais
samples as
faire?
possible.
Je vais fermer cette porte-là. On sait jamais. Comme ça, s'il y a un truc, je saurai que toutes les portes sont fermées sauf ces deux-là. Tu te relèves pas, toi. Parce que tout à l'heure, elle s'est levée, elle m'a fait flipper, s'il te plaît.
Okay, this is one last little sample.
Passer l'échantillon.
Set.
Ah oui, c'est vrai. Diatomée, donc. Perpétueux, diatomée. 35 minutes, 25. Ok. 35. Non, 30. 25. C'est ça? Ouais, c'était ça. Call of Fortnite pour l'instant. Il n'y a pas longtemps, donc je cherche encore quelques jeux sur lesquels streamer. Bah. Ok, donc ça c'est bon, c'est fini. Pourquoi tu fais pas des streams sur. Après, moi je suis pas la mieux placée, hein. Je suis vraiment une petite streameuse. J'y connais encore presque rien. Donc je pourrais pas vraiment te conseiller. Tu vois. Mais en vrai, si tu peux faire un petit stream sur. Comment ça s'appelle?
3 milliliters should be fine.
3 millilitres, on a dit. Sur Xtefiant. Je sais pas si t'as déjà testé, mais c'est sympa.
Okay, now it's the chromatograph's turn.
Après, Xtefiant, c'est un peu Call of Duty, hein, mais. Et t'as bien aimé?
The water sample matches the one provided by the police. Well, the results are quite clear. I was hoping it would be a more interesting case.
On va reprendre l'autopsie.
More diatoms. Analysis indicates the same origin. Blah blah blah.
Bla bla bla. J'aime bien parce que parfois il dit des mots en français, je trouve ça trop bien.
Interesting. Looks like there's something stuck in the trachea. I'm moving to the board for further inspection.
Moins bien que Black Ops.
I dissect the trachea and open the organ.
D'accord. J'ai pas encore testé Black Ops 6 parce que je ne l'ai pas. Mais c'est pas l'alliance de sa femme? Si, c'est l'alliance de sa femme. Pourquoi? Comment on fait pour voir à l'intérieur? Attends. C'est l'alliance de sa femme. Mais oui, enfin, tu... Ouais, je joue sur PC. Calme-toi, calme-toi, calme-toi. Respire. Je sais pas comment elle a atterri là. C'est bizarre. Non, mais tu vas pas laisser le corps comme ça. Tu vas pas rentrer? Ah, faut aller prendre des cachets. On va prendre ses cachets. C'est parti. Calme-toi, calme-toi, calme-toi. Respire. Respire, mon grand, respire. Je suis pas chaude d'aller là, non? Non, c'est juste la tête, c'est juste la tête. Y'a rien. Y'a juste la porte en face qui a bougé, mais c'est pas grave. Je déteste ça. Non, je voulais reprendre des cachets. Je vais reprendre les cachets. Cours.
Mr. Ridley, Mr. Ridley!
C'est lui qui me fait peur en fait, c'est pas le jeu au final.
I need to go home.
Je
Immediately.
suis sûr que c'est dans sa tête tout ça.
Now?
I have
Bah
to.
oui, on rentre maintenant.
Have you seen anyone here this morning? Anybody suspicious?
Oh, there was no one. Dorothy was, but only for a moment, then she left. What's wrong with you, Hammond?
Okay.
C'est clair, c'est quoi le problème?
What about the corpse?
I'll come back, I promise.
Oui, on revient. T'inquiète.
Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ! Non mais c'est bon, arrête d'appeler Jésus. L'emmerde pas avec tes problèmes. Allez, c'est parti. Je suis sûr que c'est juste dans sa tête. C'est pas possible. Parce que l'alliance est censée être dans la boîte. À souvenir. Après, on a été cambriolés, donc ils auraient sans... Bah oui, mais j'ai regardé la boîte, et dans la boîte, il y avait encore l'alliance. Enfin, je crois. Non, je m'en souviens pas. Il y avait l'alliance dans la boîte quand on s'est fait cambrioler? J'ai pas regardé.
Where is it?
Bah, il est dans la chambre, t'as dit. Where? Allez, c'est parti. Et... Mais non, mais elle est censée être là. Elle était censée être ici. C'est une blague. Il va péter un câble à un moment donné. Non, calme-toi. Tu vas appeler Steven. Ça va aller. Tout va bien se passer. Et oui, c'est dément. J'espère que c'est... Mais du coup, l'autre là... Parce qu'on a parlé d'un tueur. Le tueur est censé être mort, d'accord? Vu qu'il y a eu un accident de voiture. S'il est pas mort, donc ça veut dire que le tueur serait rentré dans l'appartement, aurait tout saccagé et pris la bague et l'argent. De ce que je comprends.
Alice's wedding ring.
One sec. You mean burglary?
Oui,
You
tu
said
vois.
nothing was missing.
Yes, I know that. I don't know. I was jittering.
C'est clair.
Maybe I didn't notice.
J'ai pas remarqué
I
non
don't know,
plus,
but
personnellement.
that's not the worst of it.
Calm down, Jack.
Ah,
Breathe.
je suis
What
d'accord.
happened?
I found it in
Respire.
the trachea of the deceased I was working on. Do you understand? I pulled it out of a dead woman's trachea.
What?
I don't
Bah oui.
know what's going on.
Y'a plus rien?
You think Red Pete wants revenge?
Pourquoi
He's
y'a plus
playing
rien?
with me. Huh?
C'est un
I knew
bug?
it. I knew it from the beginning. This was going to happen. I didn't make it up.
Jack, listen to me. Try to calm down. Don't leave the apartment. I'll be with you right away.
Non,
okay?
il est censé retourner
What
chez...
sane person would do something like that? How? And when? What the fuck? Fucking Ridley lets in whoever he likes as usual. What are you saying? Steve? Steven?
Ah.
Don't leave me, man. Come on. Fuck.
Ah ouais, non, ok, c'était juste un bug.
God, what now? Okay.
Bon, on va prendre un verre, hein.
Calm down, Jesus. What's going on?
Ok. On va prendre un verre. Un verre avec de l'alcool invisible. Il n'y a pas d'alcool tout court en fait dedans. J'aime bien les bugs parfois.
Just one sip more. Yep. Jesus.
Tu peux pas simplement le poser comme tout le monde au lieu de le balancer? Pourquoi il y a la carte de la meuf? Tout à l'heure il n'y avait pas.
Just one sip more. Okay.
Chapitre 3. Ok, bon. Vous me dites hein, d'ailleurs si quand je joue, je vous donne pas trop mal au cœur, tout comme ça. J'essaie de faire attention à ça parce que bon, je sais qu'il y en a, ils aiment pas trop quand quand on joue trop vite.
Oh, hi. No, I just... I wrote reports in those last sections, and I was just about to leave for work.
Always know when to call.
Yeah, definitely. What's up?
Donc Charlotte, c'est la sœur de sa femme. Enfin, de sa défunte femme.
Okay, nothing new. I had a few days off.
Oh, that's nice. Then, did you have a moment to look for something for me?
Something for you?
Well, the photo with the photo I asked you for.
Bah, elle l'a envoyé.
It hasn't come yet? Oh, sorry, but I sent it a week ago.
No, not yet. Maybe I'm too impatient. Sorry for rushing you. You have so much on your mind. I thought maybe you forgot.
It's okay. No worries. With my pills, Pills.
Oui, il a oublié de prendre ses cachets.
I almost forgot to take my pills. So you see...
Yeah.
I have to go now. Let me know if you still haven't received the letter. Then I'll try... well, maybe I'll find something else.
Oh, really? Could you? That... It would be great if you could.
Ça peut être cool.
Really?
Effectivement.
Yes. I know it means a lot to you.
Well, I won't hold you any longer.
Allez.
Thanks. Bye.
Oui, bye.
Bye.
Bisous.
Take care.
On retourne au travail.
Damn. Did I mess up the address?
Bah non. Tu peux fermer la
How
porte.
am I gonna get those pills?
Non, non, t'as bien mis la bonne
Maybe I
adresse, mon
should invite
pote.
Charlotte to do something herself.
Ah, sortir la poubelle. Enfin. Faut prendre... Ah, tu prends que celle-là. D'accord.
Ugh. Why is it so wet?
Il y a celle-là qui traîne depuis je sais pas combien de temps. Ah, faut lancer le sac dans la poubelle là-bas, je pense. En bas.
I shouldn't be this tired.
Il n'y a rien qu'à changer ici. On peut toujours pas monter. Je vais voir si là on peut toujours monter. Si on peut monter ou pas, parce que... Je veux aller au dernier et voir ce qu'il y a là. C'est pas grave. J'aime pas le bruit que ça fait l'ascenseur. Franchement, je vous jure, ça me fait un peu peur.
Fucking hell!
D'accord, ok. J'ai retenu ma respiration. Ok.
You disgust me.
Mais what? Mais je vous jure, il y a
I
quelqu'un
wonder
qui me
if
suit, c'est pas
Alice's mother
possible.
has a film of this photo somewhere. I actually hadn't thought about it before.
Tiens, il y a un verre cassé. Il y a un verre, il y a une bouteille cassée.
I should call her on Friday.
C'est trop bizarre. Je vous jure, ce jeu est trop bizarre. Il fait pas spécialement peur en fait, c'est juste les screamers. Ça fait. Enfin, je sais pas. Moi ça m'a pas vraiment. Enfin, ça fait pas peur, mais c'est juste que je sais pas, ça me stresse un peu en fait, cette ambiance.
Huh?
Mais pourquoi j'entends crier depuis tout à l'heure? C'est bon?
Good afternoon.
Oh non, il y a encore.
Isn't it a bit early for you?
I missed our invigorating conversations. I think I'll get straight to work on this one. Focusing on something will do me some good. Christ, this one's heavy.
Ah, mais il y a une meuf là. Je vous jure que je crois voir des trucs à chaque fois. Alors qu'il n'y a rien du tout. Je te fais un taré.
Hey, Mr. Ridley, I need help. I can't lift this bag myself.
Tu le soulèves pas là. Tu pousses. Et au final, je le fais tout seul.
Ugh, wasn't easy, but at least I can start.
Allez, go. Allez, go.
A new package must have arrived. I guess Dorothy ordered it. I think I'll skip recording a video for the students today. They don't need to see me and the body.
Allez, je regarde. Ok.
And they'll still have the accompanying photos anyway.
Pas de live alors.
November 27th, 1991, 5:14 p.m. Conducted by Dr. Jack Hanman. James
Ouais,
Evans Jr.
merci. À la
also known as
prochaine.
Jesse. Age about 30. Weight 130 kilograms. Height 180 centimeters.
Ah, plus Reaper.
Evans had previously
Alors,
been convicted of possession of
elle a déjà
stolen
été
goods,
arrêtée.
robberies, and drug trafficking.
Pour le
There
trafic
were
de
also attempts
stupéfiants.
to accuse him of leading a criminal group responsible for burglaries in the New Orleans area. What? Burglaries in the New Orleans area? This is... The body was found naked and mutilated.
C'est pas le
Clothes,
tueur?
probably belonging to the deceased.
Le... Enfin, comment il s'appelle le monsieur en rouge là? Enfin, monsieur en rouge.
The
Je
body
sais
was
plus comment
found
il l'a appelé.
inadvertently in the woods near
Peter
Petersville.
le rouge, je
The
crois.
dogs picked up the scent while searching for a missing boy.
Matthew Thompson. Je
The
crois.
deceased's father, James Evans Sr.,
Je suis sûr que c'est ça.
is a local businessman.
Mais
He
s'il
was
est
the
mort,
one who
donc c'est qui me
reported
fait
the
tout ça?
disappearance. At the time of the
C'est
report,
qui a cambriolé
his
s'il
son
est
hadn't
mort?
been home for 3 days. Police photos show that the body was not even particularly hidden, but only covered with a thin layer of soil. Sounds disturbing.
Ouais, c'est troublant.
I wonder what condition the body is in then. I'll start by opening the bag.
Ah,
Oh,
y a pas de
fuck.
tête.
I didn't
Génial.
expect this level of mutilation. This is going to be a dirty job. I'll check through the bag the police left.
Le sac.
Maybe there will be something worth noting about the victim's clothes. Leather
Ok.
plain. Classic jeans. Oh, interesting. Most of the... Something stuck here.
C'est quoi?
It looks like some kind of ectasis scale.
Ouais, des
This
écailles de
could
serpent, on
point
dirait.
to an animal being responsible. Mainly traces of soil.
Ah,
It's
c'est
a bit
peut-être
like
pas de
the perpetrator just
serpent?
pulled his shirt over
Je sais pas, on
his
dirait
head.
comme ça, on dirait serpent, et comme ça, on dirait plus crocodile peut-être. Qu'est-ce qu'il foutrait avec les crocodiles?
Certainly not my style. Is this? Oh, you can push
Ah.
it.
De la
After
drogue.
all, what else could I expect?
D'accord.
Weird.
Donc, ils prennent de la drogue.
Someone up. The bloodstains don't appear to be related to any injuries on the body. A lighter
Attendez, j'ai peur.
engraved with the police insignia.
C'est...
It looks somehow. It's probably a
Non, non,
coincidence.
c'était le truc qu'il y avait tout à l'heure.
And here, another animal souvenir. It looks different than the previous one. The only thing I can tell from the clothes is that before his death, Evans had either put up quite a fight, or...
On dirait un morceau de
Okay,
bois ce qu'on a récupéré.
I'll take a look at the scales. They seem too different. Dorothy once brought an animal
Non,
encyclopedia
c'est creepy.
here. She performed an autopsy on an exotic animal smuggler. The guy suffered an accident while transporting illegal animals. Not only were the police needed on site, but it took nearly a day to round up his cargo. Dorothy had a hard time with that case. Did the impact kill him? Or did one of the animals he was transporting do him in? They even talked about it on the news. People were terrified that some reptile would just come out of their can and grab him. Okay, the book.
Les reptiles qui peuvent surgir des toilettes. Genre des serpents dans les toilettes. Ça me ferait peur quand même. Vous imaginez des serpents dans les toilettes? Genre ils sortent de vos chiottes quoi. Non, je sais pas, ça me... Non, j'aimerais pas perso. Pourquoi il y a des cris? D'accord. C'est rien, c'est rien, c'est rien. N'aie pas peur. C'est pas ça. Ah bah c'est celui-là. C'est sûr. Parce qu'il y a les petits trucs là qui fait ça.
Doesn't seem to be fake. What kind is this? Oh, yeah. I only need to concentrate on the crocodile chapter.
Crocodile chapter. Et celui-là?
Very similar, but the color is slightly different. Not a match.
Je pensais que c'est celui-là alors.
This scale makes more sense than the previous one. How did it end up here? So, either someone donned in crocodile products was around the deceased, or one of them attacked him. I'll examine the body and take photos. If an animal attacked him, there'll be traces. Ugh, Christ. Why am I so tired? Some coffee would be nice. What was I supposed to... the pictures. I'll have to show them to Dorothy. Too bad that we no longer keep our ranking. With something like that, I would come out on top. There's been a case like this for a long time.
Il se retourne comme ça. Je déteste à chaque fois quand il fait ça.
All right, I'll begin. The deceased skin is smooth and taut.
Photo générale.
This suggests an advanced stage of decomposition of the corpse. This wound appears to have been made by a sharp instrument.
Ouais, bien sûr. T'es chiqueté quand même.
It's unlikely that a human would make such a wound.
On voit les os et tout.
Nasty.
Ouais, c'est pas beau, je suis d'accord. Et c'est bien fait quand même. Hein. Enfin, bien fait, ça va. De près, pas trop. Mais c'est bien fait quand même. Il a plus de machin, le pauvre. Et, ok. Il s'est fait attacher les mains. Oh.
And as expected, there's a bite.
Oui, forcément, vu qu'on est sur les crocos là. La tête, enfin la tête.
No head.
Le cou.
That's not hard to miss.
Ah, il a été ligoté là aussi.
There are also clear traces of the deceased ankles being bound in some way.
Et là où il n'y a pas de... Il n'y a rien quoi. À la place du machin. Je sais pas si j'ai pris une photo de là.
Interesting. This needs to be investigated further. I need to gather my thoughts together.
Tu dois rassembler tes pensées, ok.
I wonder whether the decapitation took... I should think the work of animals can be seen here. The question, this looks very promising. The bite is clearly visible.
Ah, quand la photo, elle est du fax.
And I hope I put it in right. I can never remember whether it was image up or image down. At university, I did... fantastic. Just some tracing paper, a pencil, and I can check these in the encyclopedia.
Dans le bureau, le papier calque. Ok.
Now, did I leave them in a drawer? Or maybe a box somewhere? Ugh. I don't remember if I left them out somewhere.
Nous devenons fous. Je pense que nous devenons vraiment fous. On voit des choses qui ne devraient même pas exister. Genre des corps qui se relèvent alors qu'on n'a jamais rien demandé.
Archives. Just as lifeless as the corpses they concern.
Y'a rien.
Archives.
Ok.
Just as lifeless as the corpses. A very, nature-driven case so far. I'll have to consult the encyclopedia again. Good thing Dorothy left it here. Otherwise, I would have had to run back to my place to get some.
Encyclopédie. Dans le bureau, forcément. J'ai de gros lag. Je pense que c'est peut-être lui.
The shape of the jaw appears correct, but not the teeth.
Oui, il correspond à ça.
This would also explain the mold found in the clothes. It turns out that some of the wounds can be safely blamed on local alligators. However, we cannot blame them for the decapitation. It's not these animals we should be afraid of here. I should make some notes and start the autopsy.
Pourquoi on entend comme s'il y avait de l'eau alors qu'il n'y a rien? Réaliser l'autopsie. Donc, examiner. Ok.
And look for other traces using a mag. It doesn't look good. Evans wasn't decapitated with one cut.
D'accord.
Several
Donc les
stab
traces
wounds of varying
d'un
depth and
crocodile.
circumference.
Ah non, j'ai cliqué sur le truc du crocodile.
Mississippi alligator.
Oui,
It's
l'alligator.
strange that an alligator would leave such a clear and smooth mark.
Ok, smooth mark.
It looks like the killer might have missed before they finally hit the
On va
neck.
toucher le coup. Donc il s'est fait tuer, vous pensez?
Like an uneven
Bah, de
bite.
toute façon il s'est fait ligoter, donc oui, il a plus que se faire tuer de toute façon.
Maybe there will be some remaining teeth marks.
Quoique ça veut strictement rien dire parce que l'autre, elle avait un coup, enfin elle avait un coup, elle avait un problème.
Eaten skin, soft tissues and genitals. There are even some
Au
teeth
coup et au
marks,
final
but
elle a essayé de se suicider. Donc, enfin essayé, elle s'est suicidée du coup.
the bite is firmly incorporated into the wound. A photo alone won't help me here. I need to make a cast and compare it.
Moulage, comparaison. On verra plus tard. Hein.
The imprints are quite deep and even.
Une corde,
From the looks of it, I'd say Evans was restrained with his own belt.
une ceinture. Ok.
Evans' right side must have been more attractive to the crocs and insects.
D'accord.
Very strong binding marks. You can see peeled epidermis and small wounds.
Ok.
There's no end to playing zoologist today.
C'est clair, on n'a pas que ça à faire. Non, shift.
I need a tool with dental
Ah oui, le
impression
moulage.
cement. Can I find it here?
Dans le labo,
No.
silicone. Ok.
It's probably lying somewhere around in the lab. I hope the cement hasn't expired.
J'ai cru voir un truc, mais ok. J'ai peut-être tourné la caméra trop vite. Moule en silicone. Dans le labo. Ah non, c'est pistolet. Donc un pistolet. Vous pensez qu'il est où le pistolet? Le labo c'est ça, hein? Il n'y a que ça de toute façon. Comme labo je veux dire. Ah bah, il est tout petit.
Month
Ok,
after the due date. That could be worse.
ok, d'accord. On prend un truc totalement périmé. Ouais, c'est ouvert. Un moulage. Ok.
Now I need to cover the bite area. Wait until it hardens. I think it's ready. The cast looks quite contaminated from the other wounds
Plein
in that
d'autres
area.
blessures dans cette zone.
Well, Let's hope the imprint turns out better.
Pourquoi on prend pas les empreintes dans le... Ah bah oui mais non, on a déjà identifié les empreintes.
Brush, ink,
Donc, on peut
and similar
paper.
to taking
C'est
fingerprints.
parti.
Paint over the area. And put a piece of paper on it.
Je l'ai mis trop.
That's very strange.
Oui.
I'll run it through the facts and check it on the computer.
C'est peut-être des temps humains
I
cette
really
fois.
don't want to believe what I'm seeing. Loading.
Ok. Donc,
What?
on cherche ça.
This is, well, this is quite unexpected. Human teeth. Oh, fuck. I need to tell this to Stephen.
Ça a l'air, hein. Non?
Maybe not everything is cataloged
Ça
correctly.
alors? Ah, ouais, ça a l'air mieux,
Loading.
je pense.
It'll probably take a
Ok.
while.
Donc c'est ces dents-là. Celle-là alors. Je pense c'est peut-être le
Loading.
plus probable.
It'll probably
Okay.
take a while.
C'est bon. C'est pas ça du tout. Carré. Moi je dirais cela. Hein. Ah oui merde, c'est cela. Moi je vois cela en fait dans ma tête. Bah cela alors. Non. Ah non, c'est pas cela.
Maybe not everything is cataloged correctly.
Bah ça peut être que le premier du coup. Il ressemble plus hein.
It'll probably take a while.
Ça va. 2 erreurs sur 3. Il aurait pu être pire.
Finally.
Ok.
What? The partial impression I have may match several people. Okay, this one is in prison, so he's out. Another in prison. No, here's someone with quite interesting tendencies. He's dead. It doesn't fit. This one doesn't either.
Trafic d'organes.
I'm afraid this will remain a mystery. The killer's profile is getting more and more interesting.
On peut enlever? Ou ça sert à rien du coup? Ah, ça sert à rien. Je crois qu'il commence à devenir un peu parano là. Peut-être qu'il aille prendre ses pilules.
No. I shouldn't be working like this. I have to pull myself together.
On va prendre les pilules.
I'm going back to the body. I need to make a note before I start the dissection.
Ok. Donc,
You can see that the tool used was
il n'y a
sharp
plus de
and
tête
smooth.
du coup.
So, what if it was in the hands of an unskilled person?
Plusieurs tentatives.
They look
Ok.
quite shallow. Someone must have inflicted
Ce
these
jeu
with
est
some
bien,
sort
hein,
of
je dis.
primitive tool. Torn tissue, lacerations, bite wounds. Maybe something chased that alligator away before it bit down properly?
C'est tout, hein. Ah non, il
This
est là.
wound turned out to be more troublesome than I thought it would be. For obvious reasons, I record decapitation as the cause of death. I need to verify how deep these wounds go. If they punctured the organs, hemorrhaging could have occurred.
Ouais, mais après la décapitation, je pense, non?
Ground for larvae. Fortunately, the deceased doesn't care about it, just like we do now. Alligators rarely kill humans. The abdominal and genital area are supplied with plenty of blood. If the penis was bitten off while he was alive, Evans could have bled to death. Due to the time for internal analysis. Finally, first of all, I'll try to determine whether death with the scalpel. I'll open the deceased's chest. I cut deep, in a straight line. We see a lot of fat tissue under the skin.
Tout ça, c'est du brachial.
When I remove the ribs, I expect to see even more fat on the organs.
Je déconne.
Correct. High levels of the deceased smoked cigarettes. And this is the culprit. Well, it didn't look like the holes were that deep. Such hemorrhage could have been caused by hitting the chest with a blunt object, or a puncture directly affecting the organ. They appear to be at different depths. The cross-section is uneven. Open pneumothorax should be added to this. The deceased could have experienced extreme hypoxia, and, as a result, obstructive shock.
Il y en a un aussi.
I wonder what the heart looks like. The organ is enlarged, but similarly to the lungs, there is a trace of puncture with a sharp object. In pneumothorax, the heart rate increases. In the event of such a wound, this would mean bleeding out faster and more. In turn,
Je pense que c'est forcément la décapitation qui l'a tué. Ça peut pas être autre chose parce que tamponnade cardiaque.
Evans, however, is
il est où
remarkably clean, considering this turn of events.
Il a disparu. On va les
This
couper.
all looks quite disturbing. I wonder if I'll find anything on the liver.
Ah, bon bah le découpe alors.
The organ is fatty and enlarged.
Je voulais le découper moi.
Beginnings of cirrhosis are obvious. Well, that's it. This time, nothing to write home about.
Cirrhose, ok. Sans impact sur la... Très bien.
So, I proceed to carefully remove the stuff. Like most other organs, it is fatty and clearly enlarged. Not to mention swollen.
Boursouflé totalement.
Due to gases.
Les autres étaient un peu plus roses que ça et bon.
Lifestyle. I take the organ to the cutting board. The outside is intact. I'm going to check the contents.
Faut regarder la contenance du... Enfin, ce qui contient quoi. La contenance du... la contenance de l'estomac. Enfin, ce qui... Oh ouais, puis merde.
Sounds like there's an unusually large amount of undigested...
Zut.
And now... blood. Evans had to swallow it due to his injuries. Which means he was still alive when he was brutally wounded in the chest.
Ok, il a été blessé à la poitrine. L'estomac dilaté sans lésion externe, parfois de l'estomac intact, pas de traces d'hémorragie dans l'organe. Ok. Un peu de sang.
Only the trachea. Surprisingly, it's not damaged by the decapitation. I move on to cutting it open.
Ok, on va l'inciser.
Okay. I carefully cut, and... blood. Just as I expected. Evans not only swallowed it, but also choked
J'aurais pu
on
mettre un peu plus de sang pour qu'on voit la différence.
Looks like I can wrap this up. Let me tie this together.
Alors.
after he was abducted, stripped, and tied up, he was dealt several penetrating blows to the chest. Then his head was cut off. Evans was deprived of his genitals, and the body served as an easy meal for the animals. Even though there are a lot of injuries on the body that could cause death, it was the decapitation that ended Evans' life.
Vu qu'il a été
The animal bites
décapité.
on the limbs occurred after death, so there's no reason to treat these as the cause of death. The damage to the lungs and heart must have led to severe hemorrhaging, so there's no doubt that Evans was choking at bloody convulsions. But it didn't last too long, which I conclude from the small amount of blood in the stomach and trachea. I never thought I'd ever wish someone to have a heart attack, but in this case, it would have been better for him. In some way, it can be said with certainty that James Evans was murdered.
Ok, il a été assassiné. Mais du coup, l'étouffement avec du sang. C'est pas possible puisque il a été décapité avant.
Oh well. I need to stitch
Bon,
this
je
poor
signe
guy
pas
back up.
vraiment.
It's really bothering
Ah,
me.
il faut fermer le corps.
Something's not right here. Because even now, the organs are relatively clean. The skin around wounds also, it's like someone pumped it out. Christ. I'll leave these questions for the police to solve.
Je n'ai pas placé la caméra, je l'ai oublié. Mais on ne retire jamais nos gants et nos... Ok. On retire jamais nos gants et notre tablier en fait. On
Good
rentre
night,
comme
Mr.
ça
Ridley.
et
The body is ready to be picked
on
up.
revient et puis
I
je vais
think
un
it's the
tablier
first
propre
time in
et
a
tout.
long time that I finished work at a decent hour. I'll get home. Oh, come on. Fuck! When did I get a flat
Merde.
tire? What the fuck? Fuck. I'm going to Ridley's. Maybe he saw something.
Ok, quelqu'un m'a crevé les pneus avec un tournevis. Génial.
Ridley, do you know what happened to my car?
What happened to your car?
All the tires are fucking flat!
Well, it happens. Don't you have a spare in the trunk?
Spare ones in the trunk. No one carries 4 fucking extra tires. In the trunk!
Jesus, Hammond, calm down. I'll call you a taxi.
Calm down? That's a bit of an exaggeration, don't you think? Have you seen anyone around here? Someone strange? Suspicious?
Except you? No.
Haha, funny. I don't find all these jokes amusing, you know.
What jokes? Hammond, what's wrong with you? It's just tires.
Such things are not a coincidence. What's wrong with me? Things keep happening. Last week, and now this.
Just go wait for the taxi, okay? Fresh air would do you good. Neither you nor I will do anything about it now.
Neither you nor I will do anything? What have you been doing all day? Surely something like this can't just be overlooked.
Maybe you should go outside and cool down. I'm calling a taxi.
Cool down.
Il est en train de péter un câble. Donc c'est lui, Pete le rouge là.
I just want to sleep.
Ok, bah tu vas dormir.
Not very comfortable, but suitable for night shifts.
On peut pas quitter le travail si on n'a pas de taxi. Je peux pas appeler un taxi. Quitter le travail et prendre un taxi. Donc là je quitte le travail comme ça. J'attends le taxi dehors. J'attendrai même pas le taxi dehors, perso. Chapitre 4. Déjà chapitre 4? Ça doit faire quoi? 2h30?
It would be easier just to move in and live here.
Avec les coupures bien sûr.
I doubt I'll get reimbursed. Huh?
J'aime pas les poules.
Damn. It's already late in the evening. Good evening. Any news for me? About my car? You know, Flat tires?
No.
No what? Have you checked the cameras? Anything?
Handman, I cut my teeth working in prison. I know what to do.
What?
There were no strangers hanging around. Maybe you ran over something.
What? All the tires?
Why, possibly. You can congratulate yourself.
Ah oui. Les 4 pneus comme
You
ça.
should try sleeping more. You've been kind of out of it lately.
That's the first bit of sense you've made all evening.
C'est clair.
Good. The body is expected to be ready for pickup tonight, along with your lecture.
What? What did no one...
You still pontificating? Let's hurry, don't you think?
Ok.
Ah, fuck me. I don't have the strength for this today. Have I taken my pills today? Did I take it? Or...
J'ai l'impression qu'on prend trop souvent nos
I need to
cachets.
focus.
Il devient taré avec. Plus taré que s'il le prenait pas.
I don't have much time. Okay, okay. One by one, Jack. Take it easy.
On va prendre la caméra. Non, on va pas prendre la caméra. Pourquoi c'est ouvert ça encore? Attends, je vais fermer parce qu'on sait jamais. Hein. Quelqu'un peut rentrer et. Ah, il y a un code. 3649. Ok. On va voir après.
Oh, a burning issue indeed. Then I'll move on to the body.
Sure.
Ah, shit. The lecture. I almost forgot.
Ah, ok. Oui. Oui, oui. Faut prendre la caméra dans la réserve. C'est ce que je voulais faire, mais t'as pas vu.
This is making me nervous.
J'ai trop peur qu'il y ait quelqu'un qui me surprenne dans une des pièces là. Est-ce qu'il est sûr au moins qu'il y a des gens qui regardent ces...
Oh well. This is not the best framing.
C'est clair. On voit le cul du...
Hello, everyone. It's the 20 something of November 1991. Jack Hanlon is conducting the autopsy. Oh, I appear to be missing my glove. Yes, you already know the drill. So, the body is on the slab. Let's see what the police uncovered first. So, the victim is the exact cause of the fire has not yet been determined. However, it is known that the fire started in the deceased's apartment, where the most damage was reported.
Ok. Il y a eu un feu.
The body was not found until the next morning. The tenant was naked, charred, and with severe burns. The owner of the apartment asked about the deceased. He was surprised anyone even lived there. The deceased was sitting in an armchair near the TV. Pieces of pornographic material, an ashtray, melted video cassettes, and several bottles of so-called poppers were found in the vicinity. It's difficult to assess whether any escape attempts were made. Firefighters indicated that it was probably the large quantity of poppers found near the deceased and rapid spread of the fire.
Propagation. Oh putain, ok.
Well, that's our basic question.
Question de
Whether
base.
the death occurred as a result of fire, or whether he was dead before it.
Je pense qu'il a été dû à la... Après je sais pas, hein, mais je
As
pense
you
qu'il a
can
été
see,
peut-être dû au...
the body is in quite an unusual pose. For the purpose of photographic documentation, we'll leave it like that for now.
Mais ça fait... C'est bizarre parce qu'il est attaché là quand on regarde comme ça.
This position is called the pugilistic attitude. This is due to the influence of high temperature on the muscles. The fire reaches the skin first, then the soft tissue, until the skeletal muscles are exposed. Coagulation
Mais
occurs in
gros, j'ai pas
exposed
vu.
muscles,
Il y a un gros
with their
truc.
fibers shrinking.
On voit pas,
The
mais
extensors yield to the force of the flexors. The muscles contract and contract until the limbs become flexy and deformed.
des trucs sur la main.
The upper ones are characterized by a
Ici,
triple
il y a
bend,
des brûlures.
similar to
Il
a
brûle partout.
boxer
Ok.
holding his hands in front of him.
D'accord. Ok. Est-ce qu'il y a des trucs sur genre la jambe, le dos, la tête, le cul? Non, je sais pas. Non, c'est la tête qui fait.
Just 10 minutes will do it.
10 minutes.
10 minutes for the muscles and tendons to contract, like a steak on the grill.
Ah, les genoux.
In the end,
C'est
we're all
clair.
just
Donc si on
walking
veut nous
these.
faire cuire, on peut quoi en vrai. Y a pas de problème là-dessus.
The deceased must now be straightened out, and we need to get rid of these bindings. He looks to have been tied. The deceased's neck and feet were most likely secured to his, which explains why, despite the severe burns, the deceased's limbs are not all that twisted.
Et maintenant?
That's better. It's easier to straighten him now.
Okay.
Without taking out the magnifying glass, we already know that the deceased's skin is heavily charred and cracked.
Ok. Vérification inutile. Examine les zones intérieures.
As for the other details, there are crow's feet visible near the eyes. Upper lip reveals front teeth. One of the incisors is broken. There's soot in the nostril.
La suie dans les narines. Ça c'est forcé. Hein. Quand on inhale du feu, t'as de la suie partout. Tu peux même en avoir
The
dans le
rope
cou.
around the neck wasn't very tight. I don't see it leaving a mark on the skin.
C'est pour ça qu'on nous dit de nous de
You
faire
can
attention
clearly
quand
see
il y a du
that this
feu
is
et de se
primarily
baisser
the front of the
pour
deceased
déjà
that was
qu'on puisse
exposed to
taire
fire.
quand on se baisse, sachant que la chaleur elle remonte et que la fumée aussi elle remonte. Bah, ce qu'il faut faire c'est se baisser et puis essayer de après
The rope marks around the
essayer
wrists are
de
deep
mettre quelque chose
and
sur son
clearly
visage pour
visible.
éviter de respirer le moins de suie possible.
The victim sat in the chair the whole time, hence his back being in much better condition than this extremely burned area.
Est-ce que je vois? C'est cramé quoi limite.
Looks as if a large flap of skin had detached from the calf. The rope at the man's ankles was tied much tighter and more precisely than the one around his wrists. All in all, quite a lot can be deduced from this external examination. Traces failed to indicate that the deceased suffocated before the fire took hold. Oh, it must have been terrifying.
C'est clair.
Severe burns.
Vous imaginez vous
covering
être
approximately
brûlé vif
80%
comme ça
of
là?
the epidermis.
Non, c'est pas quelque chose que j'aimerais. Hein. Ça non
Appears to
plus.
be loosely
C'est un peu
tied.
comme la noyade.
However,
C'est,
this is the result of the corpse drying
je sais
out.
pas, c'est les deux
The
trucs
wound
qui font.
shows that the
Je sais
rope
pas,
had
t'es
deeply
vivant,
imprinted itself in the tissue.
je suis pas fan.
Predominant fourth and third degree burns.
Ça doit faire peur, n'empêche. Tu dois trop avoir peur.
The burns reach through the dermis and hypodermis to reach the muscles. The body is the length of the rope was calculated,
J'ai
and
coupé.
it appears that the deceased
coupé
could
dans son
make
dialogue.
limited movements around the perineum. The tissue of the mouth
Bouche.
was heavily burned as well. The teeth, however, makes me wonder. Soot in the nose appears when inhaling harmful and choking smoke. The eye clenching is a natural reaction of the body to high temperatures. The conclusions are quite clear. It looks like the deceased was a fan of
Asphyxie.
choking while masturbating. Deaths due to
Autoérotique.
predilection for asphyxophilia do occur, but not in this case. The extent of the thermal stresses on the body could have caused this death. Wounds on the wrists and ankles indicate that the
Infarctus.
deceased could have been struggling in panic.
Ouais.
Burns burns to the genitals and groin are an additional concussive factor. This is due to the high vascularity and innervation of this area. In this case, I don't assume that this was a delayed death. The mixture of fear, sexual arousal, and drugs could have caused a heart attack. Perhaps the deceased lost a tooth, attempting to bite through the wound. We need to check the damage inhaling all that smoke has done to the respiratory tract.
Intoxication monoxyde de
It
carbone.
may seem incidental, but for us it's a sign that the deceased was most certainly conscious. I will assess the extent. Due to the amount of charring, we are unable to collect the victim's
Les empreintes
fingerprints.
digitales.
Visual
Ouais.
identification is also out of the question. You can
qu'est-ce que
probably
vous
guess
avez vu?
what options we are left with. You guessed it.
Ouais, l'empreinte
Dental
dentaire.
impression. For this, I need impression trays and alkanate material. Please excuse me for a moment. What I need should be somewhere
Dans
in
le
the
labo.
lab.
Ok.
Okay, it's going well. I should be able to get this done in time. Where are these trays? Towels, papers, jars? Nope, it's not anywhere on the counter. Maybe in this drawer. Oh, I'll warm this up in my hands.
Prendre les empreintes dentaires, ok, c'est ça. Lui, il bougera pas, il est cramé. Enfin, je dis ça, mais tout à l'heure, la meuf était pas cramée, elle a bougé.
You put trays with alkanate in once the devices have been placed. Okay.
Ok.
Again, we will need a piece of paper, a brush, and
Encre et tout ça.
we will make
Ça,
a
on connaît
plaster model
maintenant.
of the deceased's
On est
teeth
devenu une
of the
pro
obtained
là-dessus.
impression.
On va prendre les
We'll then
empreintes
make
dentaires
an
de tout le
impression of
monde.
the mold on a piece of paper, which will be scanned into the computer.
Allez, go.
You see, it seems so simple and yet laborious. On the plus side, we don't have to worry about the gag reflex with the deceased.
Réflexe de
And no
défunt.
need to remind the subject to breathe
Respire non
either.
plus.
At least he saved the high costs of orthodontic treatment.
On peut pas mettre un peu de musique? Non. Ça aurait été bien. Pour se détendre un peu. Ok, c'est parti. J'aime trop faire ça en vrai.
Wow.
Déjà?
I would have expected a match so soon. Well, the deceased
Bon, bah,
is
tant pis.
Richard Jacobson, 47 years old.
Américain
He had a
caucasien.
criminal record and was recently in court for... Oh, wow. For not returning a videotape to the rental shop. Oh, Jesus. I better check if I've still got that copy of... where were we?
Un prison.
Okay. I'll add some
Il a fait
details
un
to
an
the
de prison.
clipboard.
Ok.
Okay. And we can move on to dissecting
Richard
the body.
Jacobson.
This time, I'll go straight for the loppers. I'll
Pince
slice it piece
cosmétique.
by piece. Let me start here. I push hard several times.
Whoa.
Until I cut a given section. You can see that using a scalpel would be pointless here.
Ça doit être dur quand même, hein. Le mec il est cramé.
Solid crunch. Almost there.
Bon, après c'est leur travail, hein, mais bon. Je sais pas. J'aimerais pas faire ce
Now
métier-là.
we peel back
Il
the
fait trop peur.
skin.
Déjà que je suis une chiasseuse au niveau
Now to
paranormal,
remove
mais
the
alors là
rings.
ça... Pincostotum. Mince, oups. Costotum.
And we can check out what's going on in here.
Ah, tout le sang qu'il y a.
And I see that a lot has happened.
Ouais.
In fact, the entire abdominal cavity is
C'est
flooded.
clair.
Blood and other fluids have seeped from the blood vessels, flooding the abdomen and chest areas. We have to get rid of this. I'll go get a cup or a ladle.
Dans le labo, une mouche.
I think I saw one somewhere here.
Ça va aller vite à la bouche.
I don't have all night. I'm going to need a vacuum pump.
Une pompe.
Great. Running around for everything starts again. Why can't things be tidied away properly in this damn mortuary? I'm gonna get Ridley. I wonder what this pump is. Probably in the basement.
Parler à régler. Ok.
Mr. Ridley?
par là.
Mr. Ridley?
Comme
I'll just go to the
d'habitude.
basement and check.
C'est pas ça? Non. Tant pis. Hein. Ah, au sous-sol. Oh non. Pas le sous-sol. Je déteste le sous-sol. Si vous saviez.
Jeez. I don't know what this is for. Rusty scrap.
J'aime pas le sous-sol. Pourquoi ils font ça? C'est clair.
Where is this infernal machine? Wow, that's
On va
heavy.
prendre ça et
Can
on
I
se
fit
casse.
through the door with this?
Y'a rien d'autre. Y'a rien d'autre. On n'a rien vu.
I swear I'm going to have an accident here one day. Like Alice, when she twisted her ankle on those stairs.
En même temps, les
We were
4 roues
supposed to
ont
go to
été
the mountains
endommagées.
then.
Normal.
It was supposed to be our first trip since... And Alice, Alice.
Handman.
Qu'est-ce que t'as à parler d'Alice tout le temps? C'est bon.
As
Lâche-la
always,
un peu.
she had to...
Handman, are you talking to yourself or what?
What? No, I just...
There is a letter for you. I left it on your desk.
Letter? For me?
Yes. Letter for you.
For you?
I have to repeat myself again.
No.
10 fois peut-être.
Thank you. Where were you? I was looking for you earlier.
And I was retrieving your letter.
Jesus, Ridley. Could you talk to me like a human being from time to time?
I'm just answering the question.
Right. Oh, by the way, a letter. Fuck. Who delivers letters at this time? It's probably been sat in his office for ages. Just didn't want to move his lazy ass.
Ouais, peut-être falloir que tu bouges un petit peu ton petit cul. Hein. Ça, autopsie.
So, we have the equipment. Now I have to place it somewhere close to the table.
Là-dessus. Ah oui, tu le déplaces comme ça, toi. Genre,
Yeah.
tu le poses pas et tu
I
le
can finally
déplaces.
put
Non.
this thing down. Alright, just... What? There's no tube? No one's used this for a
Les
long
tubes
time.
encore.
I apologize to you all once again.
On va tout faire, hein. C'est parti. La salle de pause. Qui met des tubes dans une salle de pause? C'est pas hygiénique du tout. Social room.
These lockers could contain everything we need, or simply filled with people's... screw it.
Alors.
There might be something in here. Yep. I'm sure I wrote the code down on a piece of paper.
36. C'était 49 ou 59?
Me and my memory for numbers. What do we have here? Boxes of disinfectants, syringes, thread. Oh, antiseptics. Maybe I should
Bouteille
take
de
it to the
vodka.
office. Oh, that's interesting.
C'est clair.
But here. I wanted to forget.
Tu l'as oublié.
Alice,
Ok, Alice.
I regret so much.
Tu le
Every
regrettes
day.
tellement.
Every fucking day. I can't take it anymore.
Pourquoi t'as ouvert aussi? Ok. Non, non, mais prends. Prends-le. Prends le tuyau.
Phone.
Oh putain, mais tu fais tout à l'envers,
Do
toi.
not think. Just don't think.
Ah Non, c'est pas là. Ok.
Office of the... Aha.
3649.
3649.
Merde, je me suis trompée, j'ai cliqué dessus, je voulais pas.
3794.
Oh non.
Annual drug testing.
Désolée, j'ai gâché le truc.
I go home. I feel terribly weak. Wake up,
Non,
Jack.
je voulais écouter.
Jesus. I need my pip.
Non, putain, fais chier, j'ai cliqué sur le mauvais truc, bon bah tant pis. Je sais pas qui c'était du coup.
There's been a bit too much going on lately.
Ouais, je sais pas, j'ai ouvert, je préfère au cas où. Comme ça, s'il y a quelque chose qui va me surprendre, tu vois, il me surprendra pas tant que ça. Bouh. Non, c'est bon. Oui, le carton. Ah oui, mais du coup, j'ai... Oh, putain, j'ai cliqué trop vite.
Focus on your work, Jack.
C'est parti.
All right.
Alright. Allez, go.
Here I am. I hope that was the last long break in this session. So, let's connect the tube. You turn on them with this amount of fluid. There's
Et
no
là, tout
point
le
in
fluide
holding
va
back.
dedans. Non? Ok. Ok.
Still a few nooks and crannies left. External examinations did not reveal any tissue defects that would reach the internal organs, so I expect the organs to be intact. In a way, it's quite extraordinary.
Et c'est pas que du sang en fait, c'est genre la pisse et tout ça, hein, le fluide, hein, de ce que je comprends, non?
That even with such
sais
severe
pas.
burns, skin, fat, muscles, peritoneal fascia, the organs are all present and correct. A reddish pink tint indicates high carboxyhemoglobin levels, the level of which I will determine from a sample of blood. I will be inserting needles into the heart and femoral
Toujours au
artery.
niveau du
What
cœur
interests me here is
et
not
ici,
the presence of this substance
artère
itself,
fémorale.
but rather its percentage content of the sample. But first, I'll need the values for the centrifuge.
Centrifuge.
My own ideal for all the fluid tests I need to perform during an autopsy.
Je crois que c'est
I feel like
25,75.
I've been here forever.
Je crois. Hein. Bon bah du coup tant pis. Et j'ai pas vu la lettre sur le bureau. Mais bon, c'est pas grave.
Jack, focus just a little bit longer. Corpses recovered from the site of fire may have very different and complex histories. Burning is only at the surface. Underneath, it may be a heart attack, stroke, or pulp. This particular case appears
Donc,
quite
moi
basic.
je vous dis c'est... Ah non, 15,75. Ou 70. À 60. Non. C'est pas ça. Bon bah on va regarder. C'est... Ah non, on l'a jamais vu. Ok. Ah bah 10 minutes 85. Bon bah j'y étais loin hein. Ok. 85.
However, I would warn against making a diagnosis too hastily. A fire victim does not always mean death due to smoke inhalation.
Carboxyhémoglobine. Ok, il a pas bougé.
The centrifuge has completed its cycle. So, as usual, I will take the samples to the
Ouais, ça porte
laboratory,
la peau.
and I'll be back with the results shortly.
Désolé hein, si j'ai soufflé.
What exactly was I supposed to test for? COHB. I'll
Allez,
take
go.
2 milliliters of huge
2
sample.
millilitres. Ok.
Ugh.
2000 litres aussi. Et c'est parti pour le mettre dans le machin là. Chromatographe. Voilà.
Well, confirmed. Death due to carbon monoxide poisoning. Carboxyhemoglobin. All right. I'll note this down and perform a check.
On va
of the
noter tout ça et
organs.
on va lire tout ça.
What? Where? Mr. Ridley?
D'accord. Le corps a disparu cette fois.
Why did he take that fucking body?
C'est pas être lui parce que lui il bouge pas son cul donc. Mais j'entends des bruits, je vous assure.
Why did you take the body?
What body?
Well, the body. You know, from the autopsy room.
Christ, Hammond. I didn't take any of your bodies.
So who took it?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But I...
Get back to work. It's late.
Oui mais bon, tu veux que je me mette au boulot comment sachant que le cadavre il a disparu. Je sais que le cadavre peut être...
Maybe I think I'm just tired.
Mais oui, t'es juste fatigué, c'est vrai.
What's wrong with me?
On va pas regarder les toilettes. Hein. Je suis sûre qu'il n'y a rien. Je vais pas regarder, j'ai trop peur. J'aime pas aller au chiottes aussi. Ça fait peur. C'est une blague.
I think there's... We can now be sure that the carboxyhemoglobin concentration was fatal. I think I should inspect the heart. The organ has a reddish pink tint, which results from the concentration of COHB and general congestion of the organ. Other than that, there is no apparent damage. Certainly, no indication of a heart attack.
Pas d'attaque. Ok.
I can cross this off my list now.
Il cherche Jacobson. Il n'y a pas du tout. Il n'y a rien. Infarctus.
We will look at the lungs more carefully. From the outside, just like the heart, it is congested. And the
Vous
color
savez, c'est
indicates
plein de
poisoning.
suie là comme ça, c'est ouf.
Thermal damage is visible here
Genre c'est trop bien fait, je
and
trouve.
there.
Rien du tout.
Enough of the external exam. It's time to grab the knife and dissect
Concentration
the lungs.
élevée en carboxyhémoglobine. Ok.
I need to check for any obstruction, burns, or clots.
On va disséquer les poumons. Les poumons, pas le.
Jesus. All right. You can see changes in the lung parenchyma caused by burns and smoke inhalation. Nothing new here.
Ok, rien de nouveau. Ah, je me fais attaquer par des mouches là.
So let's complete the notes. And let's check the trachea.
Montre des brûlures dans le parenchyme pulmonaire. Ok.
The color is the same as the rest of the organs. Significant congestion.
Donc il n'y a rien qui fait que...
Let's see what
Ok,
it looks like inside.
oxymoglobine. Tu sais qu'il a traché.
Okay, the final cut. There are visible burns inside.
Ouais.
What catches the eye
Ça se voit, c'est moins rose que d'habitude.
the amount of
C'est même pas censé être rose, censé être...
Looks
Enfin
like
si
the
rose, mais...
subject was in the thick of the fire. Let's deal with the final notes, and we're ready to go. Let's deal with the final notes, and we're ready to go.
Mais pourquoi il le dit 2 fois?
I considered the direct cause of death to be severe carbon monoxide poisoning, leading to extreme hypoxia of the body. The extreme burns on the deceased's body and respiratory tract indicate that he must have been surrounded by fire. During the examination, no other factors were found that could have contributed to the victim's death. Environmental data does not indicate any third-party involvement. Just need to add my John Hancock and sew up the body.
On se fait des trucs là.
I'll close the body, try
Ah oui.
not to damage what's left of the skin. As for stitching, well, it varies. It can be that the fire victims are in such a condition, so for this job, a thicker needle and heavy-duty thread. Well, everything's holding together. Keeping it together is invaluable in this. Well, after storing the body, there's nothing left to do. Thank you for your attention. All the best, and good night. Ugh, my God. What an exhausting day. I need to get these gloves off and call a taxi. I swear I'm about to pass out from exhaustion.
Ok, on va appeler le taxi.
Oh fuck, you're in sample. No. Okay, quick. I think I have a container. The lab or office. Okay, this is it.
On va plus tard. On est vraiment obligé de le faire. Hein. Ok. Pourquoi il fait des...
Dehydrated. I should drink more water.
D'accord, je voulais pas faire ça, mais... Bon. Je voulais ouvrir le robinet. C'est pas grave. On va donner échantillon à l'autre là.
As expected.
Ah bah on voit en face sa tête.
Like a log.
Il fait peur quand même. Hein. Qui sait si c'est pas lui qui nous fait des coups tordus là. Bon, je pense qu'il y a le fantôme aussi de sa femme, mais on sait pas si c'est lui qui nous fait des coups bizarres là. Wow, 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 wow.
What's going on here?
Ok. Yeah. Ah, ok. D'accord. On va faire avec. Ça me donne des frissons, je vous dis.
Hurricane taxi, we will take you wherever the wind takes you.
Hello. I would like to order a taxi to 574 Presley Street.
Okay, hun. All of our drivers are busy at the moment. Best I can do is within the next hour.
An hour? Oh no. Alright. Let it be.
Can I take your name?
Jack Hanman.
Okay, thank you. Do you have a loyalty card?
No.
Would you like to set one up? For regular customers, we have discounts and extra...
Would that make the taxi get here faster?
Well...
I thought so. Thank you. Goodbye. This is already giving me a headache. Oh, Jesus, what now? Yes, how can I help you?
Jack... Jack...
Ouais.
Did you do that?
Pourquoi tu as fait ça?
Why did you do
Pourquoi
that?
tu as fait ça?
Why did you do that?
Pourquoi t'as fait quoi?
God! What was that?
Je sais plus tout à l'heure.
What the fuck? Fuck.
Non mais c'est dans ta tête.
It's because of the
Elle est morte.
fatigue.
Bon, on va les prendre 3 fois dans la journée. Hein.
This was some kind of mistake. An hour here.
D'ailleurs, petite prévention, ne pas prendre de médicaments avec de l'alcool. Parce que ça peut...
Oh, strong.
Bah, c'est pas bon pour vous, quoi. Ah, on va s'allonger. Avec la bouteille de whisky.
Everything's spinning.
Voilà ce que ça peut faire. Tu mélanges trop d'alcool et de... Les médicaments, toi. Ah, ok. Ok. Quelque chose qui va apparaître devant moi. Help me. Vous avez vu, les murs sont délabrés et tout. Attends-toi, elle se retourne, il y a quelqu'un? Non, même pas. Ah. C'est rien, c'est que du sang. Ok. C'est que du sang. Enfin, pour moi. Après, pour vous, je sais pas. Chapitre 5. Ouais, c'est rien, c'est qu'un rêve. Enfin, un rêve. Un cauchemar bizarre, mais un rêve.
Fucking shit.
L'objet qui a volé par... Ah.
What's that?
Une pierre, ok. On va balancer une pierre. Oui, c'est du sang. Tu rêves pas.
Oh God, what's happened?
Il y a un truc dedans.
Mr. Ridley?
On est obligé de parler à monsieur Ridley.
Can't you hear all this commotion?
Oui, faut que tu prennes des vacances, hein. Faut que tu te calmes, monsieur. Pourquoi il y a un corps, là? Il n'y en avait pas tout à l'heure.
Are you deaf?
Sure, whatever you say.
Il se fout de
Why
notre
is that
gueule en
even
plus.
funny? Do I need to bring you the evidence?
Sure, if you have some. Not me. I think you slept too much myself.
Wait, what?
Go and see for yourself. I'm going home. The taxi is probably waiting.
The one that left yesterday?
Yesterday? How so?
T'as dormi une journée entière.
Friday, November 29th.
Oh putain.
29th of November.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that this was...
Don't worry. I did too. Somehow. I just...
Ok, ça doit être l'anniversaire de la mort de son...
Should I call
sa femme.
Dorothy? I've set up the cadaver ready for the autopsy. She should be able to replace you.
No. There's no need. I'd be happier staying here than sitting at home alone.
Just in case, this is... let me know.
Ok.
Sure. Thanks.
Handman, I'm very sorry.
Yeah. Me too.
Merci, il est pas si méchant que ça finalement, je
I should
pense.
take my pills.
Ok, on va aller chercher de se cacher. On va réouvrir tout ça.
Go to the cemetery later.
Ok, y'a rien.
Buy flowers. Not today. To forget the most important of things. Every fucking time. If only Alice. Oh my God. Alice. No. It's only just.
Ok.
I'm so tired.
Ok, ouais. T'es trop fatigué, tu crois que Alice elle est partout maintenant. Tu l'entends, tu la vois, à un moment donné, stop. Elle est morte, les gars.
Voice recorder. It's November 29th, year 1991. The
1991.
autopsy is performed by
Dr. Jackman.
Hanman.
Jack Hanman. Pourquoi j'ai envie de l'appeler Jackman en fait? Parcourir les informations de la... Oui, ok.
Amber Lube. Investigators determined that the victim was most likely dumped close to the nearby forest. crawled to the bus stop on her own, as evidenced by the traces of blood she left behind. According to the information provided by the aforementioned friend, the car belonged to the Hurricane Taxi Network.
Taxi Ouragan.
The company was provided with a description of the driver. However, they deny that any of their drivers fit the description. The police have been looking for the man since yesterday.
Mais c'est pas la compagnie de taxi qu'on avait tout à l'heure? Qu'on a appelé avant qu'il s'endorme sur le canapé? Je suis sûr que si. Il faut y être 2 semaines. C'était son dernier jour de travail avant les vacances. À 21h40, elle est partie sur taxi. Avant de prendre pour Amsterdam. C'est clair. Voyons.
Photo.
Elle risque pas de se lever, elle a qu'une jambe. Et pas de bras. C'est pas méchant ce que je dis. Hein. Ok, donc le bras droit.
The deceased is caked in dirt and mud.
De terre et de boue.
Several signs of redness on the neck and chest.
Du coup, et la poitrine. Ok. Wow. C'est pas si cool avec ça.
Lots of rough, irregular slashing cuts.
Une taille brutale et irrégulière.
The deceased is also missing
Ok,
her
il
left
manque
leg.
la jambe. Ah non, elle a quand même son bras gauche.
The palm and front of the hand is
La paume et le dessus de la main portent de nombreuses blessures. Et bien la pauvre, elle a pas dû... Ah, il y a un hématome, je savais pas. Enfin, hématome.
extensive
Ouais, ça.
hematoma on
Sur le front de
the
la victime.
victim's forehead.
Je commence à parler comme un médecin. Je
You can
rigole.
see that Alice has been through a lot.
Ok. C'est parti.
Why is she so...
Non, c'est pas Alice. Ouais, concentre-toi là.
The overall picture is... I'll grab the magnifying glass. The wound looks relatively fresh. The deceased could have fallen, or maybe she was struck hard.
Elle est peut-être tombée sur, vous savez, les tables pointues là qu'on peut avoir. Ou sur un coin de lavabo ou un truc comme ça si elle était dans la cuisine. Bah non, elle était pas dans la cuisine. Ils ont retrouvé son corps. Donc quelqu'un l'a certainement frappé.
Minor redness appearing in several places. There are no signs of internal bleeding, detectable through an internal examination.
Ok.
Both the arm and leg were taken all the way to the joint.
Ouais.
The perpetrator used a scalpel.
Un scalpel.
The cut line itself looks jagged.
C'est vrai que c'est peut-être irrégulier, mais c'est quand même plus propre que l'autre avec sa...
Wondering about this bruising.
Avec son cou là, où il y a eu plus de tête.
These wounds appear to have been caused by crawling across rough ground.
Elle a rampé au sol. Ok.
Let me sum this up somehow. This injury
Truc à la
could have been
tête.
fatal for Alice. Some of the wounds were made by the victim crawling, and the hickeys...
Des suces.
Hickeys are not fatal, but in this situation, they are worth examining. It seems that the perpetrator was very interested in preserving as much skin as possible on the removed limbs. There appear to be no signs of struggle.
Ok.
I assumed that the deceased had a cannula inserted. and was groggy the entire time. The stitching doesn't appear fresh. Amber appears to have suffered like this for at least a few days. We do not know the exact circumstances of the wounds or the conditions in which the deceased was kept.
Donc, hématome sous-tiral.
I'll check with the UV lamp whether,
Après,
even though the wounds were stitched closed,
il y a peut-être des empreintes dessus. Exsanguination.
There are many indications that she wasn't aware of what she was being put through. Extensive
Ça veut dire qu'elle a pas souffert alors si elle n'était pas consciente.
What substances she was given.
Ou était transmise.
It is unknown how much blood Amber lost during her escape, and especially how much during the procedure performed on her. Infection could have set in.
Une infection.
If that wasn't fatal, it would severely weaken an already strained body. This has the hallmarks of some sick sexual fantasy.
Sérieux? La peau, elle est sale.
Cases like these, strong and clear traces of tape.
Why
Alice,
did you
know that I would never.
Hat? Pourquoi est-ce que t'as fait ça? Hat, c'est ça? On va aller chercher des cachets, déjà? T'es pas taré à ce point-là, quand même. Tu peux t'en passer une demi-heure, non?
Jack, breathe.
Toujours aussi bordel.
Just...
Respire.
yourself.
Respire, ressaisis-toi, ça va le faire. Prends une grande inspiration, calme-toi, on y va. C'est parti.
Well, we left off with the torso.
Lampe UV, on avait dit.
More traces of the dramatic fight for survival. You can see
Oh, la blague.
there are traces around the hickeys. Most likely saliva.
Ah, une trace de bisous. 2 traces de bisous. Oh, plein de traces de bisous en fait. Ok, c'est...
Traces of smeared blood from wounds. The perpetrator was obviously looking for an opportunity.
Il y a plein de traces de bisous, ça veut dire que c'est un...
Fulfill his paraphilia.
L'appareil pour la radiographie.
Oh, Christ. The police will have plenty to do. If I can find my hard drive, I could just take an X-ray. I'll move these tables away. Make room for the X-ray machine. Maybe Dorothy should take over for me today.
Ok.
I keep wandering off in my thoughts.
C'est dans la tête.
What's going on here?
C'est dans la tête.
Have I lost my mind?
Oui.
I must have gone crazy.
T'as perdu, oui, la tête. Disque dur.
Oh, here it is.
Pourquoi la
Cases
fenêtre est
like
encore
these
ouverte?
can be extremely disturbing.
Arrête pas de la fermer cette fenêtre, à croire que c'est fait exprès.
Huh?
C'est une blague.
I think I'm just tired.
Quelqu'un a reposé ça là? Il y avait pas.
These bulbs need changing.
Oui. Trouver l'appareil de radiologie pour l'examen suivant. Bah, j'ai cru voir un appareil là-bas, donc je me demande si c'est pas ça. Par contre, c'est chiant qu'on puisse pas courir.
Huh?
Did you answer your phone?
Telephone? What phone?
Téléphone.
We all know.
Huh?
The phone rang a few minutes ago.
Tout.
I didn't hear anything.
For you to take medicine.
How so?
What?
For you to get results.
Yeah. I'll call them back.
Allez, go.
Oh, I guess I've been here too long. How many days is it?
Ça fait peur.
It all rolls into one.
Faites qu'il y ait rien, faites qu'il y ait rien, faites qu'il y ait rien. Faites qu'il y ait rien derrière.
All right. Now I need to set the machine up. Okay. I'll attach the hard drive. Now fire it up.
Ok. La plaque. Où ça? Côté de la machine. Ok.
Oh, now center it between the eyes at the root of the nose.
Comment on prend? Comment on fait ça? Cadrer la tête et effectuer la radio. Trop cadré? Pas assez.
Okay.
Ah, ok.
Looks good.
D'accord. Bouton.
I thought for sure this old thing would have tripped the breaker. All right. I just need to take the hard drive to the lab. I'll print the image and I need to check the frontal bone, crystal galley, aneurysm, internal auditory canals, Alice, ethmoid and frontal sinuses. Why did this have to happen?
Les résultats? Ah, c'est là.
Greater and lesser wings of the sphenoid bone, and now I can print it.
Imprimé.
Why can't I see the wound?
Pourquoi on voit pas de blessure alors
Look
que
at this in the light box.
gastoscope?
Strange. Let there be light. Damn. I knew this luck wouldn't last. I almost believed that this would go off without a hitch tonight. Off to the storage room I go. These flickering lights would drive anyone
Tu te
over the
lèves pas.
edge.
Attends, on l'a réservé elle.
And now it's all broken. Great.
Droite et gauche.
Fuck. Don't you wish? I'll need the flashlight and to find Ridley for help. What?
D'accord.
There's a surprise. Why is it that whenever I need
Kevin.
Ridley for something,
T'as fait pas
he
une clé?
magically disappears into the ether? Oh my god. Oh,
Ok.
right.
Allons-y.
What now? I'll start the generator in the shed. Maybe it's been left unlocked. For once, Ridley's carelessness will be useful. It's getting cold. Must have rained
Okay.
earlier. And it looks like it won't be as simple as I hoped. Great. And the keeper of the keys has left his post. God, I haven't even started the dissection yet. Fuck it. I'm gonna get a hammer. I don't have the time or the strength.
Trouve un marteau. Ah non. Ok. Je crois savoir. Non mais continue à parler, tu sais, tu me stresses moi quand tu parles. Ne dis rien, ça me fait trop peur. Vous savez que je suis en train de retenir ma respiration là? Ok, marteau.
I'm feeling dizzy. Oh, I'm exhausted.
Casser la serrure. C'est parti, hein. En vrai, il fait pas trop peur. Psychologiquement, ça va. Je m'attendais à pire. Allez, go.
It's actually holding up.
Merde. Merde. Mince. Mais... Ok. On va attendre. Là.
Oh well. Something new. God.
Je mets 3 ans.
Something's missing here. Some kind of switch. Or a crank. Oh no. There's so much shit in here.
Un truc là. Ah bah oui.
Yes.
Tout
This'll
juste.
work.
Attends, je vais regarder quand même d'autres trucs s'il y a plein de trucs intéressants. Y'a rien.
Alright. Now, just to crank it up. Something wrong?
Oups.
Great, get started. Not for long.
Toi, du câble.
Man, maybe it's low on empty. Sure would
D'accord.
make a nice decorative ornament for the garden, though. Empty.
On n'a pas là, là?
Just nothing inside. How did it end up here?
Wife killer. What?
Finally. I'll just start this thing and call Dorothy. I think I've had enough. I shouldn't even be here. Not today.
Putain. Ils sont cul. Coup me fait peur. Oh, je déteste ça.
I guess that's enough. Nice. Another empty.
Ce n'est qu'une boutique. Ok, il y a bien quelqu'un qui nous a suivi tout ce temps. Ok, il y a bien quelqu'un qui nous a fait tous ces trucs-là. C'est un truc de fou.
What just happened? What the fuck?
Là, c'est quoi ce bordel?
Who tied me up?
It's only for a moment. Sorry, man.
Steven?
Steven, c'est vrai là?
What the fuck do you mean?
Je voulais
Think I hit you too hard with that shovel.
Oh, haha. Great fucking joke.
Non, mais
Untie me
vraiment, du
now.
coup, c'est parce qu'on
I don't have the
a
energy
fait
for your
chier.
shitty games.
Me too.
Oh. D'accord, je tombe avant qu'il me mette un point.
I don't understand. Stephen, what do you mean? This has got to be some kind of mistake.
You, and your moaning, you and your problems. You're not the victim here.
But...
Shut up! Can you shut your mouth for just one fucking second?
Yeah, I know it.
You are just a murderer.
Ah mais c'est ça.
What?
What? Knocked down? You thought I didn't know anything?
I don't have any idea what you're talking about. Stephen!
Donc il aurait tué sa...
Poor sister.
Ah c'est sa sœur.
You can't muster up any courage, any honesty. You disgust me. I suspected you from the beginning. As soon as I found out that Alice is dead, I knew it was you.
What?
Tumors, aneurysms, unexplained circumstances. Who are you trying to fool? For God's sakes, you're a doctor!
No, it doesn't work like that.
I haven't finished talking. Why did you lie, Jack? Why didn't you say anything? You confessed! I knew I had to do something about it myself. Any of this making any sense yet? Threats, a ring, photos, Red Pete on the loose? He died in that accident, by the way.
J'étais sûr.
You sick fuck.
Yes, I am. You've no clue just how much. Oh, I'm on some fantastic fucking drugs for it. Only, I've been slipping them to you. I was hoping to break you down, that you'll be pushed into doing something drastic to yourself. And I'll just stand there and watch.
Her tumor was incurable.
That's a filthy lie.
This... It was only a matter of time.
Again, lying!
I saw the scans.
You know what? I think I've had enough of your bullshit.
All right. Okay. I lied, but hear me out. We had an argument that day. Worse than usual. I was drunk. And I was angry. There was a fight. I pushed her against the wall. She hit her head and she fell. Yes. Just like that. Limp and lifeless. I panicked. I thought, I don't know. I didn't think at all.
Donc il l'a tué mais il a pas fait exprès.
I was afraid I had caused it. That someone will accuse me. That'll be the end of my career. When I called an ambulance, it was too late. Way too late.
It wasn't an accident.
And then I lied. I said that's how I found her. That I wasn't there with her. And now, there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about it. Everything. This whole year. Just dead memories. As if I didn't exist at all. Since that day.
Fuck, here we go again. Even now. Even now, you have the nerve to lie.
Stephen, I'm sorry. I suffered too.
It wasn't an accident. You understand now? Someone has to pay for this.
What's going on here? Stephen, drop the gun.
It's none of your business, Sean. Leave and forget you saw anything.
Steve, you know I can't do that.
Mr. Ridley, please, run!
Shut up!
You know I'll shoot.
Je n'hésiterai pas à tirer,
In that case,
Sérieux.
that makes two of us.
On est deux dans le fils de
Stephen.
pute. Il a tué.
No!
Il a tué Mr. Ridley. Ridley. Il l'a tué. Non, ça se finit pas comme ça, sérieux. Et du coup, non, on est mort ou on est vivant? Non, parce que, donc du coup, de ce que je comprends, on aurait tué la sœur de ce mec. qui était notre femme. Il était bourré, il l'a poussé contre un mur. Truc de fou. Je pensais pas. Et il l'a menti. Il lui a dit qu'il avait... Wow, ok. Qu'elle avait fait une attaque ou un truc comme ça. Et ben... Je pensais pas que ça allait se finir comme ça personnellement. Truc de fou. Ça n'a pas vraiment fait peur au final quand on regarde. Bon, juste des petits sursauts de temps en temps, mais ça va. C'est... Ouais. Ouais, c'est la fin là du coup. Mais qu'est-ce que je dois faire? Puisque c'est la fin. Il y aura une suite, vous pensez? Et morte. Continuer. Si je mets continuer, ça fait quoi? Chapitre 5, et on rejoue le chapitre 5, c'est ça? Ah ouais, ok. Ouais, on rejoue le chapitre 5. Ok. Ah, donc là, c'est bien fini du coup. Le jeu était vraiment sympa, franchement, j'ai bien aimé. Je vais le poster, je pense, sur YouTube. Et sur TikTok. Il y aura une rediffusion aussi sur Twitch dans tous les cas. Et n'hésitez pas à vous abonner. À liker si vous avez aimé. Bon là je parle plus pour YouTube. Hein. Et à me follow sur Twitch. Et TikTok. En tout cas j'espère que vous avez aimé. Passez une bonne soirée et à plus tard pour un autre jeu d'horreur. Bye.